Okay. All right, we're recording.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the officially unofficial Mandalorian after show that was the way. Today we have a really great show for you. We'll be reviewing the chapter 14, I believe it was, the tragedy.
I know that was
And
the name.
right off the bat, we finally got what's that?
Oh, I was just saying that the name even got me, right? The tragedy. Dun
We
dun.
we got some more. And you froze up on me.
Oh, yeah. I can still see and hear you, so I'm not sure what's going on.
Okay. Okay, it's probably on my end. Sorry. We are having some technical difficulties, so we apologize for that. And yeah, we will do our best to rectify them for our next show, which we only got like a couple shows left, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but yeah, we got ourselves some Boba Fett this week, and um, finally, Boba Fett being what everybody wanted Boba Fett to be since the beginning, since the first time people saw him. It looks like Boba Fett's got a little bit of a dad bod too. I don't know if you noticed that, but he's got a little bit of a paunch there. The
Yeah,
armor
I
doesn't
don't
fit it quite
judge.
as well as it used to. Hey, he's a certain a guy of a certain age now. He's
Right.
I know how that is. I know how that is. We're not as all as fit and fit. Um,
Yeah. Well, and clearly it is sort
I
of
did like.
interesting.
There's a few things in.
Good.
Oh no, you go ahead. You go ahead.
I was just gonna say it was definitely interesting in this one, knowing that it's only supposed to have been 6 or so years since the Return of the Jedi, right? He's clearly had a rough 6 years. So, but life in the Sarlacc will do that to you.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a lot of people were asking is like, wait a minute, he shouldn't be that much older than Mando in this one, and yet he looks like he's like well as old as the actor who plays him is, of course. But then they said, well, the acid from the Sarlacc pit
Yeah.
probably scarred him up quite a bit, and
Yeah.
he is a clone, so you might have some advanced aging might have
Sure.
increased a little bit faster. Oh, he was an unaltered clone.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, you can
so,
explain all that away
and
pretty.
we got a few questions answered. Like we finally got the question answered. Yeah, we got the question answered of is Boba Fett a Mandalorian?
Mhm.
And the answer was yes. We did finally get that. That was a big question. Was Django a Mandalorian, and therefore was Boba Fett be considered a Mandalorian? And the answer was yes.
Yeah, I
Django was a
saw that
foundling,
someone has
much
already
like
someone has already
Din was.
figured out what that says, translated the message or whatever that he shows, and I saw that someone's already done that work.
Yeah, yeah. That was basically like the his family history is basically what that was. It was saying like so and so, the son of so and so, was found by so and so, and therefore it belonged to this family, and it
Okay.
was basically showing that what Boba Fett's family tree is basically what it was.
Okay.
His chain code, that was his ID.
Yeah, I
Kind of
honestly
thing.
didn't
So,
have any skin in the game. I don't
um,
think I cared
but
whether
yeah,
he was a Mandalorian this whole time. I don't think I even knew there was the controversy or the
yeah,
question. So, sure, cool. Either way.
a little bit. I mean, there's bigger controversies. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, there's bigger controversies than that, but that's been one thing that people have always wondered is, he has the Mandalorian armor, but is he really a Mandalorian?
Mm-hmm.
But I did notice there was a few callbacks. I don't know if you noticed that, but a couple of lines that Boba Fett said kind of harken back to the prequels and even the original trilogy. There's one line where he says, "I'm just a simple man trying to make my way through the universe,"
Mm-hmm.
which is exactly what his father said to Obi-Wan in Episode 2.
Nice.
When he's talking to Obi-Wan, it says, "I'm just a simple man trying to make my way through the universe."
Nice.
So I thought that was nice and then he says the line, um, mirroring Luke's line of "I am a Jedi like my father." He
Mm-hmm.
says the line, I can't remember what he says, but he says, "like my father before me." I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that's kind of cool. The bringing it around, like George Lucas said, it's like poetry,
Right.
just bringing it all around circular, bringing it all around. But
Yeah. No, that's
a
nice.
lot of action in this one, of course, and we finally saw Baby Yoda, or sorry, I still got to get used to calling Grogu really using the Force in this one.
Yeah,
I
that's a
mean, we
new
saw some major Force
that's a new thing, right? A force
bringing that
field
little,
like that is pretty I don't remember seeing anything like that before.
yeah, 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 not like that. And yeah, I know it was pretty powerful. I mean, Mando was not able to get through that at
Yeah.
all to try to get him, but
Yeah.
yeah, it was a fun episode. What are some things that you noticed that really stuck out to you?
So things that really stuck out for me, I mean, I love Ming Na, so to see Fennec back was really great, and the action sequence and the boulders and stuff there was really fun. I think that must have been filmed
Yeah,
relatively near to where I live. Like that's definitely Southern California scenery. And I just kept picturing like going out on a hike someday and like
yeah.
coming across this being filmed and how that would have been such a cool day. Um, so I loved the fight sequence.
You know what reminded me of? You know what it reminded me of? This gave me the feeling of original series Star Trek, where they're on anytime they beam down to an alien planet, it's always that same area with the same,
Yeah.
they film that same area in California. I'm expecting to see Kirk pop out of somewhere and be like,
Yes.
or a Gorg or something like, this looks like really from Star Trek. This seems like a very Star Trek
Yes.
scene right here. I don't know
Yeah.
why, but
No,
that's
definitely.
what it gave me the
Yeah, that's definitely a
but
thing. The area of Joshua Tree or the
yeah,
Mojave or something like that is very, very recognizable. So the other thing I noticed was and I wrote down, not knowing who the
oh yeah,
director was when went into the episode, I was like, wow, this is like the most graphic killing I've ever seen in Star Wars. I feel like, the the toothbrush, just like taking people out and breaking helmets and all that kind of stuff. I was like, this is pretty intense for a Star Wars. And then directed by Robert Rodriguez came up at the end, and I was like,
yeah,
oh, okay, all right, I understand now what happened.
Rodriguez.
Yeah. So I'm not against it. It was
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
whole level of violence
yeah.
I've never seen, and the foley of helmet smashing and all that kind of stuff was pretty intense. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That was pretty. Yeah. Um. Also, we have to say, R.I.P. Razor Crest.
Oh yeah,
That
that's at first I was like, is
demolished
that the
real
tragedy?
quick. Yeah,
Yeah, no,
yeah.
that was intense, and I felt that when he's going through the ashes at the end and just finding random parts, and everything is pulverized except the little stick shift
Yeah,
nozzle or whatever, and the Beskar spear. That was harsh.
yeah. That was yeah. Yeah, that was came out of nowhere too. I was just like, oh,
Oh,
okay, oh crap, oh,
well,
it's gone.
That's one way to get rid of
Oh,
his
wow.
tracking beacon, though, right? Now they can't track him.
True. This is true.
So
Um,
I'm curious
and then
how
you have,
Boba
of
Fett got
course,
his
the
ship back,
big,
though.
the real tragedy, which was the kidnapping of Grogu.
Right.
Um, yeah, that was a gut punch. That was just like, no.
Yeah, tell me how the
Yeah.
Dark Troopers
What did you think of the
held up
Dark
for you.
Troopers?
Yeah, to me, I've never seen them before, so it's and I've of course seen Iron
They
Man. So to me,
they looked good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, when you look, they look a lot like what they did in the video game. In fact, they look almost exactly how they did in the video games that they were in. So I did like that. I like that they kept to the original look of what they looked like and what they were, which they were droids.
Right.
Just high tech droids.
Yeah.
Basically.
Well,
so
and yeah, so to me, as someone who's never
yeah, so I like that. I definitely liked.
Sorry, we keep talking over each other because of the delay, I think. But yeah, to me, it was just so reminiscent of Iron Man. And I wonder now if which one came out first, right? So maybe the Dark Troopers were in the video game and that's where they got some of the ideas for Iron Man. And now everyone who's seen Iron Man is just going to think, oh, they stole this idea from Iron Man. So.
Yeah.
But yeah. It was cool to see them. I honestly, the whole episode was full of things I didn't think we'd get so quickly. You know, more Boba Fett, Ming-Na back, the Dark Troopers. I wasn't sure we'd get all of that so early. So.
Okay. Wow. Okay, you're much better now.
Oh yeah, still there?
Sorry, I'm here.
Okay.
Yeah, something weird happened with the. It just kicked me out for a second, and I got back in. I don't know what was going on.
All right.
Again, ladies and gentlemen, technical difficulties. So we apologize for that. So this might be a short episode because we're having so many difficulties, but we will try and power through as best we can. Yeah, I mean, there was a lot, but there really wasn't a lot. This was just a straight, good action flick that moved the story along and gave us, I'd call this our Empire Strikes Back ending, where everything is, worst possible scenario you could find yourself in. How are they going to get out of this? And then we'll go into the next ones. I think we're going to get, I think you're going to get something similar to what you had last season, where everyone gets together for one last hurrah, and to save the kid.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to save Grogu. You're going to have. I thought it was interesting that they're bringing back Bill Burr's character from last season. It looks like he's going to be the prisoner, the one that they
right. Yeah.
where they're trying to get
those prisoners out. Those prisoners were too good of a setup. I figured at least one of them would be back. Because it was just too good of a setup to have those prisoners. I'm like, okay, they're leaving that there, and if that's a popular episode, they'll pick one of them back out or something like that. So I'm not surprised to see it. But yeah, it's definitely long enough later that people probably had forgotten sort of about that connection.
Which that was that was a really good episode.
I really like that. I really like that episode too. So I'm totally open to having that come back around. And I liked the idea of the new team up. I'm sort of hoping for a quest with Din and Ming-Na and Boba Fett, they're all traveling in that ship together now. And that seems like an interesting, I really hope we get some conversations. I really want to know, how Boba Fett, what Boba Fett has to say for himself for the last few years. And and those
Yeah.
are little bits
Um,
of filler we're gonna get, I hope. So
yeah. Also, what did you think of Kara going legit?
well, now we know what because remember I asked what that shield was, and now we know.
It was, yeah,
Um,
yeah. She's
so
New Republic Marshal. So
right,
she's
yeah.
legit.
Yeah, well, and I like that. She's like, I'm legit now. I got to follow the rules. And it's like, oh, but Grogu's in danger. It's like, never mind. There they go. So,
Yeah,
she had him. She had
yeah,
him for
yeah,
a little while. But yeah, no, she did a good job with her face of like, well, bury the lead. Let's kick some
yeah.
ass. So
And then we saw again Grogu going a little dark this time, uh, using the Force to really toss some stormtroopers around quite a bit. I, for one, was laughing hysterically when they
yeah,
were just bouncing off the wall. Like,
yeah,
oh, that was hilarious. Like, okay, no, you don't want to.
that was very funny. Well, I
Yeah,
like that it was like the same prisoner room, I feel like, as Leia was in, basically that same
yeah.
setup and everything. And I was picturing like the droid with the needle coming at him or something like that. So
The interrogation droid. Yeah, the
yeah,
little.
exactly.
Yeah,
No, but as soon as I heard those noises, I was like, this is gonna be so funny. This is gonna be what's happening. It's great. And I loved the concept art too, that it was like in there in the final credits. Yeah, no, that was very funny, and it's interesting to me that he like falls asleep as soon as he uses the force that intensely.
Well, I think it. I think that's part. I think it was not just he's using it intensely, but he's using the dark side.
Mm.
It's kind of showing that there is a physical.
Hmm. Interesting.
Anytime you use the dark side, that there's a physical toll
Hmm.
it takes on the uh, on the body.
Huh. That hadn't
That there's
occurred to
some sort
me
of.
because he passes
Yeah,
out
I
after
mean,
he
well,
uses
you
the
see
like
it.
force field calling out thing too. So I didn't even think about it as like a dark
Yeah,
side, light side thing.
yeah, yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know, but I mean, maybe it could be a little bit of both. I mean, we've seen before, that using the dark side can have physical effects. The yellow eyes,
Right.
stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
um,
Yeah, I don't know why they bothered putting him in shackles though, like other than to just show us these very tiny little shackles and make us sad at the very end. Because like if he can
I
use the
heard
force,
a
what is the point of shackles?
well. I think one of the things that I heard rumors is the shackles are specifically designed to um, for force users
Hmm,
that they can somehow. So
interesting.
it's something that it can might dilute the use of the force of some
Huh.
way.
That would be
Um,
interesting.
similar, yeah, similar because it looks similar. The blue thing looks similar to if you remember in episode 2 when Dooku captured Obi-Wan, he had him suspended in this. They're kind of thinking it might be something similar to that. That it's something
Hmm,
that can
interesting.
keep a force user from being able to use their powers.
Interesting. I did also
Yeah.
like the use of the stun setting on the blasters. I don't feel like
I did. Yeah, I did like that.
I don't think we've seen that since like the opening sequence of episode 4, right? Like
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
that just stunned. That's
Yeah.
such a Star Trek thing for me that I forget it's even in, the lexicon
It's
of
total.
Star
Yeah.
Wars. So
Yeah.
that was kind of fun.
So, what are you looking forward to? Because we have what 2 episodes left.
Yeah, 2 episodes left. And I feel like we have a
Uh,
plan. We at least now know, right? Like, okay, they need to break out this prisoner and then use that in order to find Moff Gideon's ship. So I'm assuming that's like the next 2 episodes.
mhm.
But who knows?
I think the next episode will be them breaking out this prisoner, Bill Burr's character.
Mm-hmm.
I think there'll be some sort of um, shenanigans with that, of
Mm-hmm.
course. Um,
Right.
and I mean, there's always the question of does this character play it straight
Mm-hmm.
and help them out, reluctantly, or is it a betrayal?
Right.
Because this character, Bill Burr's character was former Imperial.
Oh, yeah.
He was an Imperial sharpshooter.
Mm-hmm.
Um, So there's always the chance that you have some sort of betrayal. Um, but we'll find out, I guess, next week.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I'm very interested to see that. And then I assume, yeah, the final episode will be sort of the showdown at the ship, and we'll get to see a little bit more of Dr. Pershing and maybe what he's up to and get some answers
Mhm.
about
I
that.
think he's going to be the one that turns. I think there is going to be a betrayal, but I don't think it's going to be someone against Mando. I think it's going to be Pershing
Mm.
betraying and helping out Mando. I think next episode we could also get our first hint of who season three's villain is going to be, and I'm still saying it's going to be Thrawn.
Yeah.
I'm thinking Thrawn is going to be the main villain, and I think you'll get another name drop, and maybe in the last episode we will see him.
Yeah.
Um,
Interesting.
Kind of set up for season three to see,
Right.
how things are going to go. But yeah, I don't know. It's going to be really interesting to see. We have there seems to be a lot of questions unanswered so far still,
Yeah.
and
These better be long episodes, right? The two that are left. This one
oh,
was relatively
I
short, even though
know.
so much happened. So
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, no,
But
I like the pace that they're moving in terms of like kind of one planet every episode, one, quest, one Mando can't turn down a quest, it seems. But at least they get through
yeah,
them in an episode.
yeah.
I now when anyone says like go to a Jedi temple, I'm like, oh gosh, this is gonna take forever, right? Like R2's got to find the plans, and then it's all this. I'm like, no, this is just like set a course. We're there. That's the temple.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
They did still have to park very far away, which is definitely like a Star Trek trope, or a Star Wars trope.
Yeah.
But at least this time he like explained it. He's like, oh no, there's like just no room up there. We'll have to go park over there. And then I loved the little
Use the
jetpack
jetpack.
sequence. Yeah. So
That was fun. Yeah.
um,
Yeah. I do love how the fact that they keep they still refer to Grogu as, the child, the
right.
kid, even though he is like almost, quite a bit older than Mando
Yeah.
in reality. He's
Yeah. I did really enjoy the opening sequence though of just him saying Grogu over and over again to get the like
and laughing, yeah,
and then
and
just
laughing
like
at him.
chuckles. That warmed my heart because that's what I would be doing for sure on that journey. I would just be like Grogu.
Oh yeah. Yeah, yeah. You can definitely tell that there's a bond between the two, and even when he said, the way he said, "We're gonna find the people that can take care of you,"
Right.
and better, you could tell that there was like this thing of like, oh, it's like he didn't want to, but in his mind, he's thinking this is what's best for you.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I mean, I don't know if it'll come, but I really want tales from the Sarlacc from Boba Fett, right?
yes.
I want to hear how he escaped. I want to hear how he got his ship back. I want to hear, was he in the Sarlacc that the Krayt Dragon ate and that's how he escaped? Like, there's so much cool there. And I'm worried they're just going to
Yeah.
gloss over it. He's like, oh, I don't talk about that. Or, some writer's way out that we won't get our
Yeah.
background, but I'm hoping.
Yeah, me too.
How about you? Any hopes
Well,
for next time?
um, I was hoping for a good episode.
Yeah.
I'm hoping for some questions answered. Maybe I'm hoping that we get at least most of the crew back together.
Yeah.
Um, and with some added additions. I'm hoping maybe we see Ahsoka again.
Mm.
Maybe another Jedi. And I'm thinking we're gonna go. Like I said, I think we're gonna get a good setup episode.
Yeah.
I think that's what this episode will set up for the finale.
Mm-hmm.
So, but yeah.
Cool. Well, we'll talk about it here next week.
That's right. We will on That Was the Way. But well, before we get officially get out of here, Melissa, why don't you tell the people where they can find you at?
Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Melissa Truth and also at many_scientists. You can find my writing in Star Wars Insider magazine from time to time. And I did also want to shout out a thanks to Star Wars Now This, the Now This is podcasting, for mentioning us on Twitter this week and getting us out there. So thanks to them.
Yeah, that was cool. I saw that they were on their website. So definitely big. That was awesome. As for me, you can find me on Twitter at John Mark Tully 1. You can also email me at johntolly3930@gmail.com. You can email the show at thatwastheway2020@gmail.com and at thatwastheway on Twitter also. The Facebook group page is That Was the Way, the Mandalorian After Show. And you can hear me each and every week also on War of the Stars, a Star Wars podcast. Remember to check us out on YouTube, to like and subscribe, and on anchor.fm. Check us out there, anchor.fm/war. That was the way. Sorry, wow. Yeah. Again, we apologize for the technical difficulties tonight, but until next week, always remember, that was the way.
That was the way. And, I'm really hoping that Dank Farrik is now going to be Grogu's first words.
Yes.
Because like any kid trying to teach them words, they will say exactly the part you don't want them to. So
Exactly.
That would be a good catchphrase too. All right. See you next week.
See you next week.